everyone, this is Jenny and welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I finally got my hands on these two products that I've always wanted to try, and this is the Hera Black Cushion and the Hera Black Foundation. One of you guys recommended that I try this and I'm so glad that I did because I just fell in love with these two products. As soon as I applied it on my skin, I'm like really simply blown away, and I regretted not trying this earlier. But now that I did, I am ready to share you guys my thoughts, and I don't really think that they're different from each other. Honestly, I do think that they're very similar, if not actually the same product. But I will still be running through with you every single aspect of this cushion and foundation for you guys to tell whether which one is actually suitable for you. So if you guys are interested, just stay tuned. One thing that you guys should probably know before we get started is that I have combination skin. I do have some dry areas over here on this chin area and then some parts on my cheek. But then overall, it's generally sensitive skin, but I do have some areas which have normal skin. So it's a bit confusing, but it's really a combination of everything. And for my cushion foundation, I normally use number 23, but I could get away with using number 21. So I would say that I'm somewhere in between 22, if there's even a 22 in cushion. But yes, for this cushion foundation and liquid foundation, I'm using the number 23. And for this one, I'm using 23 and 1, which is kind of equivalent of the cushion. So for finish, I would say that both are matte finish. I wouldn't say that this is a semi-matte because I don't really see some dewiness. It's purely matte finish. And you guys know that I really love, matte finish in cushion foundation or liquid foundation, so this is really perfect for me. I just love how it looks on my skin. So if you guys notice, I do have the two foundation on my skin right now. I do have the cushion over here and the liquid foundation over here, and look at how matte my skin is. I don't have any loose powder on top of it. I plainly just use both foundation on my skin and use a cream blush and some cream contour on my skin, and it's just simply amazing. And over time, like as soon as you apply it, it just looks very flat and very matte. But over time, when your face starts to produce oil and your face oil combines with the cushion or the foundation, it just makes it look natural. Like look at this. I have this foundation on my skin for a bit of like 2 or 3 hours now, and look at how natural my skin is. It just kind of blended very well with my face oil, and that's what I really love about this because it just doesn't make your face look so greasy. And in terms of coverage, both are full coverage and high coverage. You could actually skip using a concealer because it can easily cover up your blemishes, and if you guys have acne prone skin, this is something that I highly recommend for you because it easily just covers up all those redness and those blemishes, and it doesn't emphasize your bumps just because it's a matte finish. But of course, you will see some of those bumps when you move your face, but it essentially doesn't emphasize those areas because it doesn't have any shine, which is actually something that's really suitable for oily skin and acne prone skin. One thing that I do notice as well is that for people who have dry skin, you guys might see some emphasis on those dry areas. So if you guys notice some of my dry patches over here, you can see a little bit of cracking, but it's not something that's so obvious. So one thing that you guys could probably do for those people who have dry skin is maybe just exfoliate or just moisturize your skin before using it so it doesn't kind of emphasize and crack on your skin. I would say that this too holds up pretty well. It doesn't really transfer, and I feel like it just sticks so well on your skin. So what I have with me here is a white tissue, and usually when I pat my skin with a tissue for any normal foundation, it tends to kind of transfer on the tissue, but with this one it doesn't, which I actually love. So this side is the liquid foundation. So look at that, I don't see that much of a transfer. And this side for the cushion, I don't see that much of a transfer either. You will see a little bit of color over there with the foundation, but it's not something that really transfers so much because for normal like dewy finish foundation and most high coverage foundation, it tends to really transfer, but with this one it tends to kind of really holds up really well and it doesn't really budge. So I don't really see some movement on my foundation, which I absolutely love about this foundation. In terms of the feeling, I would say that both feels very, very comfortable on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy and it doesn't feel like I'm wearing a very thick makeup. Even the foundation, like some people might probably think that, oh, since this is a foundation, this might feel more thick and it might feel more heavy, but I would say that it doesn't. It's a very weightless type of foundation. It doesn't feel like it's sitting on top of my skin, if you guys know what I mean. It just feels very comfortable and it just doesn't feel drying. It feels more, even though it's matte, it doesn't feel drying. It kind of has that little bit of hydrating feeling that kind of just makes your face feel more comfortable despite of it being matte. Both are really, really good in terms of the feeling. You won't feel like you have that thick layer of foundation on your skin and it won't clog your pores. I didn't get any breakouts, so that's a good sign for this too. So definitely something that's very suitable for sensitive skin and oily skin and acne prone skin. In terms of the consistency, I would say that both are very, very similar. Although, of course, when you're using a cushion foundation, it tends to have like a lighter consistency because everything is controlled by the cushion when you try and get the product. But in terms of the liquid foundation, since it's from a pump, you guys might get a lot of product and you might think that the consistency is quite thick, but it's actually not. I would say that for the liquid foundation, it's actually a lot better than normal liquid foundation just because it really has that liquidy type of consistency, because there are some liquid foundation that has a little bit of creamy type of ingredient in it that makes it very emollient, but with this one it's very liquidy, so it's easily blendable and it just kind of gives that nice finish on your skin. So that's one thing that I really love about this, and it makes it really feel more comfortable on your skin. With the Hera cushion, what I love about the consistency of this is that it doesn't feel cakey. So there are some cushion that as soon as you open it and you pat your puff on the cushion, it just feels very thick and very cakey, but with this one it doesn't feel cakey at all. And like the first application, the amount of product that you get is just the right amount for you to actually apply and blend out that cushion foundation. That's one thing that I really appreciate about this, which is actually a really good thing. In terms of the amount of products and also the price, I would say that for the Hera cushion, the amount that you pay may not be worth it just because this only has 15 grams, although you do get a refill which kind of totals as a 30 gram, but still usually for cushion foundation it tends to dry out really quickly depending on how well the case actually locks and holds the moisture. So that may be a downside for cushion, but for the liquid foundation, this has 35 mils. From what I understand is that they're kind of very close to each other, if not similar price range. But this has 35 mils and it's actually good because it won't dry up because it's in a tube and it has that pump. So you will have a controlled right amount of product whenever you try and use it. So that's a really good thing. I like it like that, and I'm really happy that they used it. They created it in a pump. The longevity of this cushion foundation and liquid foundation is just simply superb. So I was wearing it for almost 9 to 10 hours at work, and it just simply looks exactly the same as how I wore it at the start of the day. Hey everyone, good morning, and today I'll be testing out the Hera cushion over here and the Hera foundation over here. So I'm heading to work and it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be going to work and we'll be wearing this the whole day. So I'm hoping to see really great results. It's a matte finish and I'm sure that it's gonna hold up the whole day. So I'll give you guys a quick update by the end of the day. So see ya! So guys, I'm now back home and I've been wearing this foundation and cushion foundation for about 9 hours now, and the whole day my skin was just matte. Like really matte, no dewiness. Like I did see a little bit of oil in this forehead area and on my nose,
but it's generally very matte. So I didn't put any loose powder, and I just used a cream blush just to kind of see whether would the foundation move. But everything is really good. Like, it's semi matte. I would say it's more of a matte, really. So if you guys have dry skin, this may not be suitable for you because some of your dry patches would actually crack. So I do have that on my chin area and on my forehead. As you guys can tell, there's a little bit of fading here with my blemished area, and on this side too. But on this side, I can't really tell just because I don't have any hyperpigmentation here. But overall, I think both are very similar, which I actually like. At least I have an option to kind of carry the cushion during travel and all that. But overall, I definitely love this cushion and liquid foundation, and this is going to be a new favorite this 2019.
So it just really hold up pretty well. It kind of had a little bit of fading on some of my blemished areas, but overall it just looks exactly the same and it was intact. And we even had a barbecue that day and I had smoke, I was sweating, it was oily, it was really a tough day, but everything was really intact and I was really happy about it. Like, I was trying to look at the mirror and just simply trying to see, you know, what is the main difference between the two. I couldn't really tell because my face just looks exactly the same and it looks so perfect and flawless. In terms of oxidizing, I don't really see that this cushion foundation and liquid foundation oxidize. So some people say that it does kind of change the shade in a way after a while of using it, but I didn't really see it on me. Like, I do notice that as soon as I applied this cushion foundation on my skin, it just looks exactly the same as how it is until 9 hours after. So that's a really good thing because there are a lot of cushion foundation and also liquid foundation that changes color as soon as it sits on your skin, but this is absolutely perfect. I didn't see any oxidizing happening on my skin, although it might be different for people who have acidic skin. That might change a little bit, but for me, I didn't see that on this two products. Overall, I do think that these are the same product. It's just that it's in a different, you know, packaging, but it's exactly the same product. It performs exactly the same. I didn't see any main difference. And one thing that you guys might notice as well is that the liquid foundation has more shades compared to the cushion. So cushion have 6 different shades, but with the liquid foundation it has 12 different shades. Although I do notice that it's not technically like different shade tones, but it's more of a different undertone. So it's still the same 13, 21, and 23, but they've created different shades under those 3 shades. So it's kind of good and not good in some ways because some people who have a darker skin tone or more like a different or warmer skin tone may not be able to test this out. So that's a really a disadvantage. But overall, I really love this too. I think I've found my HG product, my HG foundation this year actually. So definitely something that you guys should check out. There's a really big reason why this is hyped up by a lot of people. I just think that this should be more hyped up than this one because you don't get a lot of product from here. Definitely something that I highly recommend, and for those of you guys who have questions for me, feel free to drop me a comment down below, and as always guys, I will speak to you in the next one. Bye!